So we are into the CFD post, and let us just try to visualize the results and see what is the outcome, how the distribution of temperature is uh, happening in the domain and or in the room, what we can say, or to be very specific, garage. And let us see different things what we can explore in CFD post for these kind of cases. Now I have this model, I have the domain being imported into the CFD post. You can see in the screen over here. If you want, you can just select the respected boundary, and you can just change the color, maybe just to distinguish between the other boundaries as well. Okay, so the inlet and these are the walls what we have. I'll just make it as something lighter shade with a transparency. All right, and also the floor can be with some different color and apply. All right, so this is the model what we have, and the fire, this is the fire bonnet from where the fire is coming out. Now first and foremost thing is we can evaluate the temperature on the walls. We can check up the contours of temperature on the walls. So I will be creating the contour over here, and I'll just press OK. In the location I will be selecting the ceiling. I want the temperature to be represented on the ceiling. Then I'll just hold control and select the walls as well. All right, and I'll just press OK. So ceiling and walls are selected in the locations you can clearly see over here on the left hand side. Now in the variable I'll just drag and select the temperature over here, and I'll increase the contours to 101 and press apply. Now it will load for a while, and you can see the variation of temperature on the wall. Now because the fire is over here, the fire which is acting, which is happening in the bonnet, the heat and the gases which is being transported upward is impacting directly on the ceilings. That is the reason you're having a larger denser region, higher values over here, right? So this is the distribution of heat on the walls. And now what we can do is, if possible, we'll just reduce the rendering for this to 0.9. all right, so the coloring is a bit lighter, and you can see the lines, actually the contour lines. All right, now the next thing is what we can do is, otherwise I'll just turn off the contour because it is quite disturbing us. Right, now I'll just create a plane laterally, and let us just see what is happening, and let it be XY plane. I'll just click apply over here. So we have this plane, and if you want to change the lighting state for the image, you can just hold control and one second, just click control, hold control in the keyboard with the right click, press the right click, you'll be getting this light icon. Okay, so by default this is the icon what you're having, the rotating icon. You're holding control and pressing right click, the icon changes. Just hold both of these together and move your cursor accordingly. Right, so you can just change the coloring, the lighting position, so that you can see appropriately in your screen. Especially if you're capturing images, you have to adjust the proper lighting for this thing. Now I'll on the plane I'll be creating a temperature contour. So I'll be creating another contour over here, and the location will be plane 1, and the number of contour lines will be 101. And here again I'll just go down and select the pressure, temperature, and press apply. So you can see the uh, you can see this graphical representation when I'm just turning, right? So this is because in background we have plane activated. So if I'm just turning off, it is very clear right now. So you can see the hot gases being traveling upward. This is what is happening over here. Here, so I believe you're understanding very well over here. The hot temperature is moving upward and distributing along the ceiling here. And what else we can do is we can create another plane, maybe in different uh, planes. For example, if I'm just creating a YZ plane in this fashion, oh sorry, not YZ, XZ. Yeah, and let me just increase the Y value up to this region, and I'll just create another contour over here, and I'll select plane 2. Let me increase the contour lines and create a temperature. So you can see the variation in this plane as well. Let me just turn off the plane, and if you are moving to animation, you can select plane 2 and move it upward and downward. Let me just stop it. You can see how it is varying. So towards the ceiling the temperature is very high. That is the reason you're having much higher distribution on the higher temperature of higher gases available in the region of ceiling. And you can just stop this, and you can just click plane 1 and turn on the animation. So in the region of inlet there is no fire smoke coming over here, and in the region of outlet we have a good amount of what do you call, smoke exiting from the outlet. Now we can also analyze the what do you call, vectors. So I'll just turn off the contours. Planes are already existing, but I've turned off the visibility. Okay, so don't get confused with this thing. Now we can just go to vectors and turn on the vector 1, and in the location we can just select plane 1 and simply press apply. So you can see the velocity vectors over here. Okay, so the vectors are having bigger arrows in this, larger arrows or bigger arrows in this region, because the mass flow is pretty high over here. I mean, the gases are exhausting from the bonnet. Okay, and they're just moving in this direction. And let me create another vector on plane 2 and press apply. So this will show the moment from the top. Okay, and let me just go to plane 1, turn off this floor also, because it is mixing up with the color of the vectors. And let me just increase the height position, and let me just view from the top. Okay, so you can see that the the exhaust is happening in this way. Okay, and let me just create one more plane otherwise in the YZ direction. So I'll just go over here and select YZ and press OK. So we have this plane available over here, and I'll just create a vector on that plane, that is plane 3, and click apply and turn off the plane. Now I'll just show you what is happening. So you can see that the smoke is moving upward, and it is just touching the ceiling and distributing on different sides, but eventually it is getting exhausted from the right side because there is a presence of outlet on this region, right? You can clearly see that is happening over here, right? And if you want, you can turn off the wall also, so you'll be having a more clear representation. Now in vectors also we have different things. For example, this is vector number 3, right? Now the size of the arrows represent the actual velocity, clear? But if you want all the arrows to be normalized, then you can just go to symbol and click normalize and press OK. So all the symbols are having same direction or same length actually. Now you just need to reduce the size of symbol and press apply. Maybe further reduction is required to have a uniformity in the visualization. Yeah, this is better. So these are the modifications what you can do. After all, first and foremost thing is, it is really required for us to solve the case appropriately, right? So these are the vectors which are representing the exhaust of the gases. Now what we can do is, I'll just turn off the vectors, and now we will be working on the streamlines over here. Streamlines can be created from the inlet, or it can also be created from the fire. Okay, let us just see what is happening from the fire. So this is how they are propagating after impacting with the ceiling. Okay, and for this we can add up what do you call, so this is pretty fast actually. Okay, so these are the just graphical animations what you can do. And we can also have the symbols present over here according to me. Yeah, so if I reduce this interval, we'll be having more arrows, I mean more symbols actually. This is increasing a lot actually, the gap of 0.02, and that is pretty less. Okay, so if I'm just you can also change the color, that depends on your interest actually. So these are nothing but the animation visualizations and understanding of different aspects. Okay, and next thing is, we can also visualize the, what do you call, the carbon dioxide mass fraction. Okay, now before that we can also create the streamlines from inlet. Just go to inlet and press OK. This is how your streamlines are coming from inlet, and we can create one more streamline from the fire. Just come over here and select fire, yeah, fire, and press OK. So you are having multiple streamlines that are entering from the this complete opening over here and exhausting, and streamlines that are generated from the bonnet and moving in this direction, right? Now apart from this, as I mentioned you, that we can try to visualize the carbon dioxide mass fraction. So I'll just turn off this thing, and the planes are uh, open, I mean they're available, but I've turned off the visibility. Okay, I'll just go to contour again, and here I will be selecting the plane. This is which plane? Oh, I'm sorry, this is plane 1, but not the pressure. I want to visualize the carbon dioxide mass fraction. Okay, so a number of contours can be dependent on your interest. So this is the mass fraction of contour, so I mean mass fraction of carbon dioxide actually. So you can see a higher amount of carbon dioxide available over here, right? So this is how your species model work actually, and this is how you can post process the results what you have, and see what are the different things that you can extract from, right? And apart from that, we can also have a volume rendering. For volume rendering, we just have to select this option and press OK. Now the variable, if you want, you can just select mass fraction again, and just press OK as of now with the default settings. This will take a bit of time depending on your RAM and memory, and it will calculate and represent the volume rendering of the carbon dioxide gas mass fraction. Okay, let us just wait for a minute. Yeah, so this is how your carbon dioxide gases are in the complete domain. I'll just turn off the contour, and you can see the maximum uh, availability of the mass fraction of this carbon dioxide is high in this region, right? I believe you are understanding how we can visualize all these things. These are pretty interesting things actually. This will help us understand the variation. Now in order to make your picture more clear, you can just change the background color to darker colors, something like this, and apply. Now you can visualize very clearly. This is the fire that is generating the hot gases, and these gases are moving upward, and we can visualize the results in this fashion. So I will be turning off the volume rendering because this will use the background RAM, and I'll just come back to workbench defaults, or else I require a white color background always in my CFD-Post, and click apply. Now apart from that, we can do one more calculation, like if you're interested, you can plot the temperature profiles as well. Like you can create a straight line from left to the right, and you can go to the chart and plot the temperature profile. That is also possible, and anything is possible. It depends on your findings and interest basically. And apart from that, what else we can do is we can uh, calculate some values actually. For example, the only source of carbon dioxide in the complete model is the car fire source, isn't it? And because the inlet just comprises of oxygen and nitrogen, right? So the only source of carbon dioxide in the domain is what? Is the fire source, which is nothing but this region where I'm hovering right now, right? So we can perform a volume integral and find out how much carbon dioxide is present in the model, right? So this is a complete volume, right? So I will just integrate the complete region and with respect to the carbon dioxide, and we will be getting the amount of carbon dioxide present in the model. Okay, the volume we will be getting basically. Now in order to perform that thing, we just have to go to calculators and click on functional calculators. You'll be having different functions available over here. In that you need to select volume integral, which is volume int. Okay, location will be the complete model actually, the domain, and the variable will be carbon dioxide mass fraction. Now if I'm just clicking on calculate, you will be getting the volume of carbon dioxide present in the complete domain, right? So this is something around 0.0011598 meter cube, right? Now remember, this is a scale model, that is the reason we have lower values, but depending on your realistic models you will be getting some realistic values, right? Because we are discussing the conceptual study, I mean we have scaled the model because of many reasons. We are dealing with academic license as well, so there is a limit of elements and all those factors are considered, the simulation time and all those factors. That is the reason I've just scaled the model. So this is the way how you can perform the different post processing for these kind of data. You can also calculate the volume integrals to know or to identify or to find out how much carbon dioxide is present in the model, right? Similarly, if you want to perform the uh, volume integration for oxygen, you will be getting the amount of oxygen present in the model, right? So this is how you can deal with it, and I believe you have understood about this thing very clearly. And I'll just pause this, I mean I'll just stop the video over here, because we have discussed all the aspects of this what do you call this case. We have learned the procedure to incorporate multiple components or multi-species into the what do you call, into the case, into the model, and we've learned how to solve it appropriately, and we have seen a proper convergence. We have also monitored the velocity on a plane at some height from the base, from the floor, and we have seen that when it was constant we have stopped it and we have concluded the convergence. After that we have post processed it and we have seen the different evaluations of visualizations as well. So on this note, I'll just conclude the video at this point. Thank you.